Chapter 21, Darkness. In digireels, before one person has to go on a dangerous mission, there's usually a tearful scene. Another person tells them to be careful and to never give up hope. Instead of a touching farewell, Trey and I had a fight over glow sticks. "Take them both," he insisted. "I'll be fine." But I knew him better. After all, I had shared a room with him for most of my life. We'd always had a nightlight because neither of us liked total darkness. "No, I just need one," I said, handing him the unlit glow stick back. "Here, you have the other." "Fine," he huffed. Then I crouched down by the hatch, hesitating. I couldn't seem to make my body move. I was scared. I would go instead of you if I could," Trey said. "I know," I said, and took a deep breath. "All right, here goes." I tossed the lit glow stick down onto the track and carefully squeezed through the hatch out onto the ground. A moment later, the unused glow stick plopped down next to me. "Hey!" I shouted, waving it. "Take it back." "No way," Trey said. "You're going to need it more than me." "But you'll be sitting in the dark," I said. "Yeah, and you'll be walking in the dark." He barked a laugh. "It's not like I'm going to go anywhere." I clutched the glow sticks, fear dancing up my back. "I don't know if I can do this," I confessed. "Well, just pretend the tunnel's the corridor beside our bedroom and it won't be as scary," Trey said. "Be brave, Bell." And just like that, something was right again. And even though our world was falling apart, Trey was still my best friend. He would literally sit in the dark for me. But instead of his doing everything for me, like when I was little, it was my turn to do something for him. I had to be our voice now and get help. I crawled out until I was standing in front of the train, the endless black tunnel in front of me. I turned and waved at Trey, but I couldn't see him. But I knew he must have waved back. And then I started walking. The first glow stick didn't last long. It had been fading when I'd set off, so I clicked open the last one and continued on. But being somewhere so dark was completely unnerving, so to stop focusing on the darkness, I made up a little game. I began reciting all of the animal names that I remembered from my book. Koala, whale, moray eel, panda, snake. Something unseen slithered against my foot and I yelped. "A snake?" But when I looked down, all I saw was the track. I started walking again. Hedgehog, flamingo, bat. I heard a rustle of wings. Didn't bats hang on ceilings? I held the glow stick up and squinted at the ceiling, but I didn't see anything. I shook my head. Maybe I was just hungry. I hadn't eaten since breakfast, and that was a long time ago. Hummingbird, orangutan, squirrel, crocodile, teeth. Big teeth that like to eat children, and maybe this isn't such a fun game after all. My imagination was way too realistic. Now, it turned out all those horror digireels got it wrong. The scariest thing in the world wasn't a monster or an alien chasing you. It wasn't killer slime mold or a zombie plague. It was being alone. My whole life, I'd had people around me. The settlement was small and crowded, and someone was always up in your space. Meme joked that she couldn't burp without someone hearing her. But I would have given just about anything to hear a burp now. I even missed the sound of Albie snoring. Honestly, I would have been happy to talk to an alien. At least then, I wouldn't be alone. Maybe it would even play 3-word story with me. I had to force my legs to keep moving. Take a few steps. Hold out the glow stick. Make sure there's nothing in the shadows ahead. Take a few more steps. Repeat. It was like a digireel playing the same scene over and over. How had I ever thought that this was a good idea? Why hadn't I just waited with Trey to be rescued? What was I tripped over my own foot and fell. My knee hit the ground hard and something in me snapped. Before I could think it through, I was up and rushing the other way to the train. Back to Trey in safety. This was too much. Like Albie had said, I was just a kid. I wasn't brave. So I ran as fast as I could down the dark tunnel, my heart pounding and pain shooting up my knee. I don't know how far I'd gotten when an image of Meme's face flashed in front of my eyes, and I stumbled. I pictured Cy's beard, and I heard Darby's belly laugh, and my feet slowed. I smelled Salty Bill's cooking, and finally I stopped. They were my family, and I would lose them just like I'd lost Phineas if I didn't get help. So I took a deep breath, and then I turned around and started walking toward the next settlement. My knee was throbbing now, and my glow stick had started to fade. I didn't know how much farther I had to walk. The tunnel stretched for kilometers around all the settlements. In places, it curved because of some obstacle. As the tunnel slowly grew darker, everything seemed louder. My footsteps, my breathing, even my rumbling stomach. But there was also a sound that I couldn't quite identify. A brief, high-pitched cry that echoed down the tunnel. It sounded eerily like a small child crying. Was somebody else in the tunnel? Maybe one of those kids from the Finnish settlement? Were they hurt? "Hello?" I called. "Is someone there?" I heard the cry again, and it sounded closer. "Are you okay?" I asked. "My name's Belle. I'm from the American settlement." As I walked around a curve, I saw the eyes in the darkness. But they didn't belong to a child, because children don't have glowing green eyes. They were the same alien eyes I'd seen on dust duty. I gasped, and the alien disappeared into the darkness. But in the next heartbeat, it reappeared closer. What do you say to an alien? Hi, nice alien," I babbled. "Don't eat me. I'm not very tasty, and I'm probably pretty smelly, too, since I haven't had a hot shower in a while." The alien didn't seem to care because it kept coming. I squeezed my eyes shut, too terrified to move.